So the cross-examination relating to the victim impact statement of one of the relatives of a slain Northwest businessman, Wandile Bozwana, will resume in the High Court in Pretoria this morning. Yesterday, proceedings were postponed after counsel for two of the accused reported sick. On Monday, Bozwana's brother, Benedict's evidence on his victim impact statement was also adjourned because the legal representatives for two of the accused were not ready to start with the cross-examination. Bozwana was killed in a hail of bullets at the Garsfontein east of Pretoria in October. His colleague Mpho Baloyi suffered a multiple gunshot wounds but survived the attack. Our reporter Molemo-Waone Mothoa is following up on the story now, joins us live from outside the court. Molemo-Waone, good morning. Thank you so much for making time. First, tell us about where we are in the trial now and also what we expect to happen in court this morning.
Good morning, Adjourned. Indeed, we are live at the Pretoria High Court. And as you'd recall, the four accused being Vusikeke Matibela, Sipho Hudla, Robert Mutapa, as well as Bonginkosi Khumalo, were convicted of Bozwana's murder last year in June. And they're also facing charges of attempted murder against his business associate, Mpho Baloyi. And you'd also recall that there's been a lot of delays as well as postponements in the matter, which some resulted in the court issuing a warrant of arrest against a probation officer who was supposed to testify about the psychological reports of the accused. The probation officer actually failed to appear in court twice, and it was on the second occasion that Judge Papi Musopa issued a warrant of arrest against her, which could have been effected had she failed to show up at her next appearance. And she finally, presented her pre-sentencing report before the court in August. And she actually done that as it was commissioned by the defense. And the interviews with the report was actually compiled through interviews with the accused. However, the state at the time indicated that the report was going to be of no, effect, as the court was now preparing for, for the handing down of the sentence. The state prosecutor actually lashed out at the probation officer, saying that the report lacked any, expert opinion, as well as, she couldn't, establish as to, whether the accused, were a danger to society, and she couldn't, come up with recommendations for a suitable, sentence. But then on the same breath, the proceedings, for sentencing now were, scheduled for this week, starting from Monday. However, we saw on Monday, the witness who was called now to take the stand was Bozwana's brother, Benedict, who, actually just said that Bozwana was the last second-born of the six of the family members. His testimony was interrupted when the court was now informed of the ill health of the legal representative of the two of the accused. He, on the other issue, sadly, is that we also know that the mother was killed in August, before she could, have a closure in what was believed to be, a robbery at her home in the Northwest in Zeerust. We actually have heard as well that on Monday, the widow, Bozwana's widow, also had her impact report, victim impact report presented before, the court, saying that since the murder of her husband, her life had been shattered. She actually stated in her report that the day she received, the call, they actually were planning as a family to go for a holiday in somewhere in the Northwest, and the call was received by the daughter, who then heard that the father had been shot. She described the husband in that report as somebody who was very generous, who had actually created a lot of businesses, for business people in the Northwest and as well as around Pretoria. So we are yet to hear what the brother today will say, but then just to just get some views from friends of the slain businessman. I'm now joined by Themba Gwabeni. Ntate Gwabeni, you are back this morning again for the sentencing proceedings. Your expectations?
Well, our expectation is that we'll proceed today, and then we will get the sentencing of those people. Like we have said, there are 5 people here now. 4 are being found guilty. 1 is still on trial, being found after 6 years of running. To say that we have trial fatigue will be an understatement. We'll exercise patience. We have hope. We have high expectation that justice will be served. And once justice is served with these ones, we would expect that a further investigation must be done, because we believe very strongly that these are just mere foot soldiers. They should be principals. Wherever their principals are, I have no doubt that they are chasing down their meals with wine and whiskey and smoking cigars. Until we have those people, there is no rest. In any case, Bozwana has lost a mother. He has also lost 2 brothers. So there is nothing. There is nothing that is going to deter us. We have to seek justice for even the mother and the late brothers.
As somebody who's close to the family, how has the remaining family members, how have they been coping throughout these years?
Well, it has been a roller coaster. I would not wish this to anybody, because Bozwana was actually the glue that put the family together. Frustrations, you know how this case has taken turns and twists. And I thank God that we had the courage to put at all material times our fingers on the pulse of this case. Otherwise, it would have just been one of those cases that would have gone through thin air. We'll have the time one day to explain what actually happened through this case and why it has taken so long. But we are encouraged by the fact that the justice system is determined. The judge in particular is determined that this case must be concluded sooner than later. So we are happy. We will then be able to meet the investigating officers, because since this case started, there are 2 senior policemen who died in the process. There was the low-ranking officer was a constable at the time. We are very excited and happy that he hanged on, except the difficulties that they went through. At least these guys have been found guilty finally. All that we are waiting for is judgment, and we'll be able to map the way forward. Way forward that will bring the principals to take responsibility.
Thank you very much. That's Themba Gwabeni, friends of the slain businessman from the northwest, Wandile Bozwana, saying that they are actually expecting that the sentence proceedings will proceed today, and that they actually are waiting for the day when the mastermind behind this suspected hit would appear before the court, because they believe that the 4 accused who are now before the court were just messengers, and the main person is still out there. Aldrin.
Thank you so much for your time, Molemo-Waone Mothoa, there outside the Pretoria court.